Hi, I'm Emily, and this is English in Ease, your quiet corner for learning English naturally. Whether you're lying down, going for a walk, or just relaxing, this is your English listening practice podcast. No stress, no pressure, just real English, the way people actually use it. Today, we're diving into something I know a lot of English learners struggle with: how to improve your speaking skills when there's no one around to talk to. Maybe you're the only one in your family or town learning English. Maybe you're shy. Or maybe you just don't have someone to practice with right now. And you know what? That's totally okay. You can still improve your speaking on your own. And not just a little. If you use the right techniques, practicing by yourself can be just as effective as speaking with someone else. So today, I'm going to walk you through some practical, step-by-step ways you can build your speaking skills completely on your own. These aren't just tips. They're strategies you can start using right away, even while you're listening to this. We're talking low-pressure, no-judgment methods that build confidence and fluency over time. Sound good? Let's get started. Let's begin with something simple, but powerful: talking to yourself. I know, it sounds weird, right? But don't dismiss it just yet. One of the biggest reasons people get stuck with speaking is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being judged. Fear of sounding silly. But when you talk to yourself, none of that matters. No one's listening. No one's correcting you. You can try out new words, mess up, and repeat yourself without any embarrassment. Start with what's around you. For example, say what you're doing as you do it. I'm boiling water. I'm pouring coffee. This cup is too hot. You don't even need full sentences at first. Just get used to hearing your voice in English. Then, slowly add more detail. For example, I think I'll use oat milk today. Actually, no. I'll keep it simple. Just black coffee. Now you're not just describing actions, you're reacting, changing your mind, adding personal thoughts. And that's how people actually speak in real conversations. Another great trick? Pretend you're explaining something to a friend. Let's say you're cooking. Imagine someone asks you, "How do you make that?" Then you answer, "Oh, it's easy. First, I chop the vegetables. Then I heat the pan. I add a little oil and garlic." You're not just listing steps. You're practicing how to explain things clearly in English. And if you get stuck, don't stop. Try using different words. Can't remember spatula? Say, the flat thing you use to flip pancakes. That's called paraphrasing, and it's a key skill for fluency. It trains you to think in English instead of constantly translating from your native language. Here's the bonus. When you hit a word you don't know and look it up later, you'll remember it better because you needed it in the moment. So here's your first challenge. Pick something you're doing right now and say it out loud in English. Even if it's just, "I'm listening to Emily," that counts. And if someone catches you talking to yourself, just say, "I'm practicing my English." Chances are, they'll be impressed. Once you're used to speaking out loud, here's another simple tool: reading out loud. Yes, it sounds basic, but don't underestimate it. Reading aloud is one of the most effective solo speaking exercises. It helps with pronunciation, fluency, confidence, and even muscle memory for speaking. You might understand English perfectly in your head, but when it comes to saying the words out loud, they don't always come out smoothly. That's normal. Reading out loud is like stretching your vocal cords. It gets your mouth used to English sounds and sentence structures. So how do you do it? Step 1. Pick something you enjoy: a book, a blog, even subtitles from a show. Step 2. Read slowly at first. Focus on saying each word clearly. Then, when you're more comfortable, try reading at a more natural pace. Here's a fun twist. Read the same paragraph twice. The first time, just read the words. The second time, Add feeling. Imagine you're acting in a movie. If the line says, "I can't believe this is happening," say it like you really can't believe it. Want to take it further? Add voices for different characters if you're reading a story, or listen to an audiobook and read along with the text. Try to match the narrator's tone and rhythm. That helps you develop intonation, which is the natural rise and fall of the voice when speaking. English isn't flat. It moves with emotion and emphasis, and reading out loud helps you internalize that natural flow. If reading a book sounds overwhelming, just read the subtitles of your favorite show as you watch. You're already following the story, and now you're turning entertainment into language practice. So next time you pick up a book or even a cereal box, read it out loud. Let the words come out. Let your voice get used to English. Little by little, it gets easier. Now, let's talk about a third technique that's often overlooked: narrating your day. This one is related to talking to yourself, but it's a bit more structured. Instead of just reacting to things randomly, you describe your actions and surroundings in real time. It might sound like, "I'm brushing my teeth. I need to charge my phone. I forgot my keys again." The idea is to keep your brain actively forming sentences in English throughout the day. That way, instead of setting aside a fixed study time, you're building a habit, a lifestyle of thinking and speaking in English. You can also use narration to practice different tenses. Talk about the past. "I woke up late today." Talk about the present. "I'm heading to the store." Talk about the future. "I'll do laundry tonight." And don't stop at yourself. Describe the world around you. "That car is really loud." "The sky looks like it's going to rain." "There's a bird sitting on the fence." This technique builds sentence variety, and it keeps your speaking muscles warm. You don't need to speak loudly. You can whisper. You can even say it in your head if you're out in public. The goal is to keep your internal monologue in English as much as possible. All of this might seem small or even silly at first, but it's these kinds of everyday habits that create long-term fluency. We're just getting started. In the next part, we'll cover one of the most uncomfortable but powerful ways to improve: listening to your own voice. Plus, we'll explore techniques like shadowing and echoing to boost your pronunciation and rhythm. Let's keep going. Now that you've gotten more comfortable speaking out loud, whether through self-talk, reading aloud, or narrating your day, there's one more powerful practice that many learners avoid. And I totally get it. It's listening to your own voice. Yeah, I know. Most of us hate how we sound on recordings. It can feel awkward or even cringeworthy. I've been there too. But here's the truth. If you want to improve your English speaking, this is one of the fastest ways to make real progress. Because when you're speaking in the moment, you're focused on the message, not the details. But when you play it back, you start to notice everything: your pronunciation, your intonation, your pace, your grammar. All the little things that are easy to miss. Let's say you record yourself saying a few sentences about your morning routine. "I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I had some toast with peanut butter." Now, listen back. Do the sentences sound smooth? Are you mumbling any words? Are you pausing too much? Does your pronunciation sound natural? If not, that's okay. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. And awareness leads to improvement. And if you really want to level up, try this. Find a short clip of a native speaker saying something, maybe from a podcast or a YouTube video. Then record yourself saying the same thing. Compare the two. Don't overthink it. Just notice where you sound different. Is their rhythm faster? Are they stressing different words? Does their tone rise or fall in a way yours doesn't? This technique helps you develop what we call phonological awareness, understanding how sounds function in a language. It trains both your ear and your voice. Now, I know some of you might still feel hesitant. So, start small. Record just one sentence. You don't have to share it with anyone. It's just for you. You're not trying to become a voice actor. You're building a skill, and that requires feedback, even if the feedback is just your own ears. And here's a little secret. The more you do it, the less weird it feels. Eventually, it becomes normal. In fact, you might even start enjoying the process of tweaking and improving your speech. So give it a try. Talk about your day. Record it. Listen back. Notice what you'd like to change. Then say it again. This is how progress happens. Bit by bit, step by step. All right. Now let's get into two specific speaking techniques that are used even by actors, interpreters, and language learners all over the world. Shadowing and echoing. They sound similar, and they are, but there's a small difference between them. Let's break it down. Echoing is when you listen first, then repeat after a short pause. It's kind of like call and response. For example, you hear, "She went to the store this morning." Then you pause, and you say, "She went to the store this morning." This gives you a second to think about the sentence, process the words, and then say it clearly. Shadowing, on the other hand, is when you repeat at the same time as the speaker. It's fast. It's more advanced. You're basically shadowing their voice, trying to match their pronunciation, speed, and intonation in real time. Imagine walking just one step behind someone and trying to match their exact movements. That's what shadowing is like, but with speech. Both echoing and shadowing are fantastic for improving pronunciation rhythm, listening comprehension, and even mental processing speed. So where do you start? Step 1. Choose a short clip, maybe 10 to 20 seconds, from a podcast, video, or TV show. Something with clear, natural speech. Step 2. Try echoing first. Play the clip. Pause. Repeat what you heard. Pay attention to the tone and stress. Are they stretching certain words? Are their voices rising or falling at the end of a sentence? Step 3. Once echoing feels easy, try shadowing. Play the same clip, but this time, repeat along with the speaker without pausing. Try to keep up. You might miss a word or two. That's totally fine. The goal is to keep the rhythm and pace. Shadowing is hard at first. You might feel like your brain is moving too slow, but over time, you'll get faster. You'll start recognizing common collocations, that is, groups of words that naturally go together. You'll hear sentence patterns and rhythm more clearly. And most importantly, you'll get used to thinking in English while speaking. It becomes less about translation and more about direct response. So try both techniques. Maybe echo one day, shadow the next. Mix it up. The key is consistency. A few minutes a day is better than one big practice session once a week. Let's wrap up this section with a modern tool that a lot of learners overlook: language learning apps. Specifically, apps that let you practice speaking and give you feedback. Apps aren't a full solution, but they can be a helpful supplement, especially if you're shy about talking to others. Think of them as your private tutor that lives in your pocket. Some apps use speech recognition to evaluate how close your pronunciation is to a native speaker's. Others guide you through speaking drills, repeating phrases, or even having basic conversations. Here are a few examples. Elsa Speak. Great for pronunciation drills. It breaks down each sound and gives you visual feedback. Speechling. You can send in your recordings and get actual corrections from a coach. Youglish. Not an app, but a website that shows you how words and phrases are pronounced in real video clips. There are even AI-powered chatbots now that will talk with you in English. You can practice conversations about your day, your job, or any topic that interests you, and get immediate responses. These tools are especially helpful for tracking your progress. You can see how your pronunciation changes over time, or how your vocabulary expands, and they give you a way to practice speaking in private before trying it out with real people. Just a note of caution: don't rely on apps alone. Use them as one tool among many. Combine them with the techniques we've already covered: talking to yourself, reading aloud, narrating your day, and shadowing. And if you stay consistent, even just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll start to feel more confident. You'll stop translating in your head. You'll start responding more naturally. You'll begin to own the language. Because fluency doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from many small moments, repeated often. All right, now that you've learned some powerful solo speaking techniques, talking to yourself, narrating your day, reading aloud, listening to your voice, shadowing, echoing, and using speaking apps, it's time to pull everything together and turn these tips into a daily speaking routine you can actually stick with. Because here's the truth: learning English isn't about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing something consistently. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, those small actions stack up over time. So, in this last part, I want to help you create your own personal English speaking plan, a structure you can follow to keep making progress, even when you're on your own. Let's start with a basic daily routine. Feel free to adjust this to your own schedule and energy level. The most important thing is to keep it realistic and repeatable. Example: solo speaking routine, 20 to 30 minutes. Step 1. Warm up with self-talk, 5 minutes. While getting ready in the morning or doing something simple, speak out loud. Narrate what you're doing or what your plans are for the day. Example: I need to finish a project today. I think I'll make some coffee first. Maybe I'll use oat milk this time. If you can't speak out loud, maybe people are around, just whisper or think in English. It still counts. Step 2. Read aloud, 5 to 10 minutes. Choose a paragraph from a book, blog, or article. Anything that interests you. Read it once slowly for clarity, then again with more natural rhythm and emotion. This helps you with fluency, pronunciation, and speech patterns. Step 3. Shadow or echo, 5 minutes. Play a short clip from a podcast or YouTube video and either echo, repeat after the speaker, or shadow, speak at the same time. Try to match the speaker's tone, speed, and intonation. Step 4. Record and review, 3 to 5 minutes. Say a few sentences about your day, your opinion on something, or a summary of what you read. Record yourself, then listen back. Ask yourself: did I pronounce everything clearly? Did my sentences sound natural? What could I improve? Optional: use a speaking app, 5 to 10 minutes. If you have time, use an app like Elsa Speak or a chatbot to practice targeted pronunciation or full conversations. And that's it. You don't need hours. You just need consistency. Some days you might only do 2 steps. That's okay. What matters is that you keep the habit alive. Let's talk now about tracking your progress, because nothing feels better than seeing proof that you're actually improving. Here are a few ways to measure your growth, even without a teacher. Keep a speaking journal. Record one short audio clip every week. Just talk about your day or describe something simple. Label the file with the date. After a month, listen to your first recording again. You'll be surprised at how much clearer and more confident you sound. Repeat the same content. Pick a paragraph from a book or script and record yourself reading it now. Then, after a few weeks of practice, read it again. Compare both versions. Can you hear more expression? Fewer hesitations? Set mini goals. Instead of vague goals like speak better, set small, specific ones. For example, I want to pronounce the clearly by next week. I want to speak about my daily routine in the past tense without pausing. I want to shadow a 30-second video clip with no mistakes. Small goals keep you motivated and focused, and every time you achieve one, you build confidence. Now, before we close, I want to talk about something important: motivation. Even with the best routine, you'll have days when you don't feel like practicing. That's normal. It happens to all of us. But here's the thing: you don't need motivation to practice. You need momentum. Think of English practice like brushing your teeth. You don't always feel excited about it, but you do it because it's a habit. And habits build results. So if you're tired, just do one small thing. Say 3 sentences out loud. Read one paragraph. Whisper a line from your favorite movie. That's enough. That keeps the streak alive. And tomorrow, it'll be easier again. And if you ever feel stuck, remember why you started. Maybe it's to travel, or to get a better job, or to understand your favorite TV shows. Or maybe it's just the simple joy of learning something new. Whatever your reason is, keep it close. Let it fuel you on the hard days. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. All right, before we end, let's review some useful vocabulary from today's episode. You can repeat after me if you want. Struggle, to have a hard time doing something. Example: I used to struggle with speaking quickly, but now it's easier. Stick with, to keep doing something without giving up. Example: stick with your routine, and your English will improve. Pressure, stress or urgency to do something. Example: I feel pressure when I speak in front of people. Judged, being criticized or evaluated. Example: I was afraid of being judged for my accent. Patterns, regular ways something is done. Example: notice patterns in how native speakers speak. Underestimate, to think something is easier or less important than it is. Example: don't underestimate how useful daily practice is. Flow, the smooth movement of something, especially speech. Example: her speech had a nice flow. It didn't feel choppy. Covered, to have talked about or included something. Example: we've covered a lot of techniques today. Tenses, verb forms that show time, past, present, future. Example: practice using different tenses when narrating your day. Mumbling, speaking too quietly or unclearly. Example: he was mumbling, so I couldn't understand him. Echo, a sound that repeats. Example: try echoing sentences to improve your pronunciation. Reflex, a quick, automatic reaction. Example: with enough practice, speaking English becomes a reflex. That's it for today's episode of English in Ease. I hope you found these solo speaking techniques helpful and, more importantly, doable. Remember, you don't need a classroom to speak well. You just need your voice, a little time, and the courage to keep practicing. I'll be here to guide you along the way. Take care, keep speaking, and I'll talk to you again soon. Emily.